Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 12. So in this module, we are moving on to the last major essay assignment, and that is a cause and effect essay. So we finished the process essay. That was kind of our first introduction to writing a longer essay. Now we're moving on to a full 5-paragraph essay length assignment. So this is similar to something that you would do in Comp 1, which is hopefully for most of you the next step after this class. So cause and effect is an exploration of the result of something happening. And so you're going to get into this type of writing, first of all, learning more about it, and then you'll be brainstorming some ideas for your essay in this unit. So just like we've done before, you have a brainstorm and writing plan that you'll start with, and then another topic, another grammar topic, commas. Commas are kind of like apostrophes. They're one of the more misused type of punctuation. And so it's a pretty important topic because misuse of commas is fairly widespread, and it can really distinguish your writing if you do it correctly or not. So readings and videos, lots of good resources for you. And then of course this whole section, there is 2 sections in the book on cause and effect. Chapter 12 is about cause and effect, just period, but it's also just focused on a paragraph length cause and effect as opposed to an entire essay. If you want the essay part of it, you're going to look further into the different types of essays, and that is here in chapter 17 has the cause and effect essay information. And so this will also be useful so that you can kind of see what it looks like to do a full length essay work and what the thesis statement will be and that kind of thing. So the essay itself, it looks like this, and this is what you'll start with so that you can do your brainstorm. And just like we've done before, you have 2 options for your topic. Either a good choice that you made, something that you're proud of doing, something that had positive results. So remember, since we're doing cause and effect, you're making a choice. And this does need to be something that you actively decided to do. And there's a wide variety of things you can talk about, so I'll get to more of that in a minute. Or a bad choice that you made, something that you're not proud of doing. And so you kind of have that, do you want to look at more positive effects or negative effects, basically? Your exploration of this topic will be centered on the causes and effects. So depending on what you want to discuss, you might cover more causes, so like what led up to that choice or why you made that choice, or more effects, that is, what are the positive things that you see or negative things that you see as a result of that choice. So maybe you gave up smoking. Obviously, you're going to see a lot more positive effects of that. Maybe it was a bad choice, though. Maybe you chose to drink and drive and you lost your license as a result. And so that would be exploring negative effects of a choice that you made. It does need to be something fairly specific so that you can trace the actual causes and effects. And for some students, that makes it a little bit more difficult to pick a topic. So anyway, essay itself is going to be 5 paragraphs, introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and conclusion. So you can kind of see how your essay, depending on what you decide to cover more of, you may have like 1 cause paragraph and 2 effects, or 2 cause paragraphs and 1 effect paragraph, or maybe all effects, if that's kind of what you want to focus on. We're connecting, the idea is that you connect the causes to the effects, and so we'll go kind of sort of like chronological order, like we did for the process, thinking about what happened first to cause what happened next. And so that typically is the part that students get hung up on, is that relationship between them and how do they show that within the essay. You want to make sure that you're including adequate details. Since it is about you, you're going to talk about yourself. You're not doing any kind of research. This is not, we don't use sources or anything. It's just about you, your decision. How did that affect you? kind of thing, or your family or whatever. And then you're using obviously first person and third person. You're not addressing the reader directly because they are not the ones who made the decision. You are. So we are going to spend a little while on this. So we actually have, I think we have 3 modules for this one also. And you will be doing a rough draft for the instructor as well as doing a rough draft for your peers. So you'll be doing a lot with this essay. We'll be doing a full revision of your rough draft and that kind of thing. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable with the cause and effect assignment first, and then do the brainstorm and writing plan. The brainstorm asks you to come up with just different ideas that can help you prompt toward the topic that you might choose. So depends on how you want to do the free write. You can answer, some students have been answering each question individually. You really don't have to do that. You can just like sit down and write about, everything you're most proud of. And then if you haven't met your 10 minutes yet, start talking about your failures, that kind of thing, or good choices, bad choices, that kind of thing. The idea is that you write about as much as possible, just many different things as you can think of, and then you narrow it down when you get to your writing plan. So the writing plan is, again, those questions specifically about what you've chosen for your essay and whether or not you can cover that cause and effect relationship. What are some specifics that you can write about? And then finally, there's some examples down here for your single sentence thesis, which will be part 3. Make sure that you are just writing 1 sentence for your thesis, but you can see there's some examples here that you might follow along with depending on what you're writing about. So that is the module. It's really just that introduction to cause and effect, and then brainstorming ideas for your essay. We will start drafting the essay in the next unit, so just kind of be prepared for that. I want to make sure that you're ready to really get into a draft fairly quickly with this one, since we have a lot more of the revision stage of this. So we're going to get peer feedback, writing lab feedback, instructor feedback. You're going to get a lot more feedback for this one, and so a lot more to change for your final draft. This is the last, like I said, last major assignment. So other than the final, this is kind of what we're finishing this semester with. If you have questions about anything, or you're not sure about the topic, whether or not it will work, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.